Without a vision, the people perish. Welcome to Vision Plus, a program featuring a positive outlook, dealing with everyday situations of marriage, children, and business with challenges and opportunities. Believing Philippians 4:13. You and I can do all things through Christ who gives us strength. Teacher, author, speaker, delighting audiences from New York to Sacramento with a heart and message for the people today. Here's Bonnie Liphart.
Hi there, and welcome to Vision Plus. I'm Deana Liphart, filling in for Bonnie. She's out of town at the moment, and I know we send all our love and prayers with her. Today we have an exciting show for you. I'd like to tell you there's going to be an international fly-in just down the road at Guntersville. And with me today, I have Mr. Jesse Culp, who is the Public Relations Director for the Guntersville Aero Museum down there. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And I want to welcome you and just tell us everything all about this exciting event that's coming up just down the road, y'all.
Oh, I'd love to, Deanna. This coming weekend, September 5th, 6th, and 7th, we will be having Airdrome 92. It is the world's largest ever fly-in of World War I vintage aircraft replicas. We're expecting upwards of 100 aircraft from all over the world to be with us. And
didn't you say Germany and England?
Yes, we have people coming in from Germany, England, Italy, Portugal, everywhere.
This is just unbelievable.
We're expecting more than 100,000 people to be in Guntersville this weekend for Airdrome 92. It will be a celebration of the 75th anniversary of 1917, when manned flight first came into its own in the world.
Oh, this is so exciting. And y'all, it's right here, right down the road.
Yes.
And this is it's the world's largest.
Absolutely.
Y'all, all over any state, in any country, this is amazing.
There has never been before in the world a fly-in of World War I vintage aircraft like this.
Ever?
Never.
Oh.
The first time ever. And believe it or not, at the Guntersville Airport, just down the road here from Huntsville, we have the world's largest collection of World War I aircraft replicas.
Now, when you say World War I, you're referring to the era of the Red Baron. Is that correct?
Yes.
I see.
The Red Baron. And we will have the replica of the Red Baron's plane with us. In fact, we will have as a special guest Anna von Streik, the niece of the Red Baron himself. She now lives in Canada. She will be coming to Guntersville for Airdrome 92, and she recalls playing in his trophy room when she was a little girl, and she will be sharing some of those experiences with us.
This is just amazing. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to go. Just tell us some more about that.
All right. I want to tell you that we will have as special guests 4 World War I pilots who actually flew aircraft. One of them is was a German pilot,
right,
and the other 3 were Americans. They're coming from all over North America to be with us. They're quite old now, in their 90s and 100s, but they will be there as our honored guests, and they're so excited because for the first time in 75 years, they're going to get to see the replicas of the actual aircraft that they flew in 1917 and 1918 over Europe.
It's just amazing. Don't you know that has so many fond memories and emotions,
indeed.
And I can't wait.
Frank Ryder, who owns Ryder International in Arab, this is a product development company. He is the gentleman who owns the museum, and I'd like to tell the people about the museum and about some of the things that will be happening during Aerodrome 92
yes,
at the big fly-in.
Please do.
In 1987, Mr. Ryder, who is a pilot, he's an inventor, he's a poet, he's a motivational speaker and a lot of things, he bought his first World War I aircraft replica. He fell in love with it so much that he bought another one.
As you would, like some people collect cars. Or...
Right. Then he saw another one he liked and he bought it. And he's continued to buy these aircraft. In fact, he bought another one last week. One day he realized, hey, here I am with the largest collection of these aircraft in the whole world. More than the
Not just the United States.
The whole world. More than the Smithsonian, more than the Air Force Museum, more than anybody else.
That's amazing.
And he said it just wouldn't be right for me just to enjoy these things for my own pleasure and not share them with other people. So he then decided to create the museum and just open it up to the public. It's free. It isn't a profit-making venture at all. It's just something that he likes to share with people.
Share back to.
Yes. So now people can come to the Guntersville Airport anytime, right on Highway 431 in Guntersville. The museum is open from 9 until 3 every day except Monday. Well, on Sunday from noon until 3. They're invited just to come in, see these beautiful aircraft.
Right?
Yes.
You know, there's so many things nowadays that, you know, if you want to take your children to see something, it costs you an arm and a leg, and it's so nice to know something that is inexpensive.
Deana, people come in, family groups.
Right.
And the children are just so bug-eyed when they see these old planes. And we feel like that if we had to charge an admission charge, a lot of these families couldn't afford to come.
Right.
Now, there will be an admission charge for Aerodrome, for the fly-in.
And how much is that?
All right. It will be $15 a day for adults, or 3 days for $40. Our children under age 16, $5 a day.
And $5 a day, you can't beat that, now can you?
No, it will be a wonderful experience for the whole family. For these 3 glorious days, we're going to fill the skies over Lake Guntersville with a sight that has not been seen in 75 years. These majestic old warbirds flying over the beautiful mountains and lakes of our northeast Alabama area. These are the old triplanes and the biplanes, and they just fly along at a very slow speed, generally less than 100 miles an hour. They take off and land at 45 or 50 miles an hour. They just come floating in, and they are so colorful, so totally different from today's aircraft.
Right.
And most people have never seen one, much less seen one flying.
I know. I hate to. I know I must sound like I'm so much in awe, but I know. I was just telling your wife I collect antiques and I love to fly, so I know this is going to be right up my alley, and so many other people's too.
Yes.
And something that's such a family and a wholesome, treat that you can all do, and something the family can share together.
Let me tell you just a little bit about our program for Aerodrome 92.
Your itinerary, yeah.
Yes. We will be opening the gates at 6:30 every morning.
Okay.
And the entire airport will become a 1917 aerodrome. All modern aircraft will be moved out and kept away.
Oh.
It will be full of these old aircraft. It will have vintage automobiles of the era, also vintage music, and people will have a chance just to wander around. Yes, there you see an artist's sketch of some of the airplanes, the actual planes that will be flying there during Aerodrome 92.
Now, isn't that the brochure or your
yes,
that
indeed.
you're going to be giving out?
Yes. You see there, one of the planes is the famous Red Baron plane. It's a Fokker aircraft, and we will be flying that and others like it there. We already have pilots coming in now with their planes. The first pilot arrived last Friday, as a matter of fact, from Edmonton, Ontario, with his aircraft.
And he flew it in.
He trailered that one in.
Oh.
because
but didn't one fly in
oh
today?
yes, most of them are flying in fact. But some of them from long distances are bringing them in on trailers because they can come faster on a trailer than they can in this airplane.
Naturally.
But he came in, he took the wings off, he's put them back on, and now he's flying over Lake Guntersville, as these others will be.
This is just such a history-making event, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yes indeed.
Oh.
All right, at 9 o'clock each morning, we will begin our formal program with 1 hour. People will be flying their radio-controlled models of these same airplanes, radio-controlled models. Then starting at 10 o'clock, we will be flying these airplanes all over the Guntersville Airport area. And we will fly them in groups. Like for 1 hour, they can see a certain type of German aircraft flying.
Oh.
Another time they can see French aircraft. Another time British and Canadian. And all of these will be aircraft that made history 75 years ago. And each afternoon then, we will climax the show. Oh, let me tell you too, on the ground we will have some World War I reenactors who are setting up a World War I military base.
Oh.
Authentic in every detail, uniforms, tents, everything.
So you're going to, so to speak, be put back into time when you arrive at the airport.
When you walk in the gates at the Guntersville Airport, September 5th, 6th, and 7th, you'll be entering a time warp. Suddenly, you'll be taken back to 1917. You will hear the music of the era, you will see the automobiles of the era, you will see the airplanes of the era, and all 3 days, they will just be flying like crazy all over that area. But each afternoon, then, from 3:20 to 4:20, they're going to stage dogfights right over the airport there, just like they did.
Between each other? The
yes.
planes?
Oh, yes, yes. And the troops on the ground are going to be staging ground battles at the same time, and then they're going to start shooting at each other. Ground to air, air to ground.
Oh, this is so exciting. And whose idea was this?
This was the idea of Frank Ryder, the gentleman who started all of this.
He planned all of this.
Yes, and he said it's the worst idea I ever had. It's about to drive him up the wall because everyone has gotten so excited about it. You can't believe the excitement this thing has created.
Well, it must be, it snowballed. It seems like one little idea has just gone, because if it's the world's largest international show of this nature.
We have media from all over the world coming to cover this event. And virtually every major aircraft publication internationally has devoted cover features to our planes. We have Hollywood producers coming to look at our planes, and they are interested.
If they might want to use those?
Yes, they want to use at least one of our planes in some future episodes of their programming, the Young Indiana Jones series on TV. We have...
that right there would be enough to make so many Hollywood buffs come, wouldn't you say?
Well, we have people like Forbes magazine, the international business magazine. They're sending people from New York to spend the entire event and cover it for their publication. We've been featured in Southern Living magazine and USA Today and the major newspapers all over the country.
Across the United States,
right.
I see.
The wire services, the TV stations and networks.
Well, how long did it take Mr. Ryder to put all this together?
3 years. And now he wishes he had another year to finish getting it all together. But it's coming up.
He sounds like a perfectionist, you know.
Well, he is.
He does.
A lot of people have wondered about the safety of all of this. Well, every possible precaution is being taken for safety, for the public, for the flyers themselves. The Federal Aviation Administration is overseeing all the safety of this. They're setting up a temporary control tower at the Albertville Airport to handle the air traffic. Let me say that people who want to fly to places like this cannot fly into the Guntersville Airport.
Well, naturally.
Yes. We expect a lot of traffic problems, and we're doing everything that we can to alleviate that. The traffic officials have asked me to ask the people of Huntsville and Madison County and surrounding areas who might be planning to travel through the Guntersville area on their way to somewhere else to please take Highway 231, carpool, take Highway 231, try to avoid the north side of Guntersville, which is where the airport is located, come in from the other side.
Right.
Okay, for people who are coming to Airdrome, there will be no public parking at the Guntersville Airport, just don't have space.
Right.
But we have rented several hundred acres of land
And
just
there
north.
is so much land out
Oh,
there.
yes,
Oh,
yes.
yeah, there's going to
we
be
have
plenty of
parking for, yes, for thousands of vehicles. We will have signs, people there directing, so people coming down from this direction, from the Huntsville-Madison County area, they can come right down 431 to where the new Highway Department district headquarters is, just 2 miles north of the airport. There they can pull into these parking areas. They can park for $5 a day. We will have shuttle buses continuously, all day long, back and forth. They can climb right on a shuttle bus. It's free. Ride right to the airport gate, get off and walk right in, buy their tickets right there. And when they're ready to leave, there will be a shuttle bus waiting to take them back to their automobile.
Oh, that's so...
We hope they will utilize those parking areas and not try to come on down to the airport.
Right, right.
Yes.
And plus, that's going to be so, you know, good for their cars, not have to worry about, you know, I always, when I'm wanting to look at the planes, I can just see me trying to watch and view the air show and not paying attention to where I'm driving.
Okay.
That's a good thought.
All right, let me tell you, Deana, we're going to have a wedding at Airdrome.
Wedding?
Yes. Fred Junklaus from Indiana, who is one of our pilots, he's bringing down one of the planes. He and his fiancée have decided they would like to get married right there during Airdrome 92. So,
you're kidding. Is this going to be on one of the Book of Records? I
suspect it will be.
Could be.
Okay, Fred is going to, he's from Indiana. He's flying his plane down from Indiana. We have a World War I vintage military ambulance that we've had built, exactly like the ambulances in World War I. It's a 1917 Model T. Okay, he is going to land in his old aircraft. She is going to come out to the airstrip dressed in a World War I nurse's uniform in this old ambulance. She's going to get out. They're going to get married right there in the middle of the scene. And then, like the dashing aviator of World War I, he's going to climb back into his airplane and take off to battle and leave her standing there on the airstrip.
That's so romantic. That in itself is such a good story. But are they really going to get married for real?
Oh, yes, indeed, they are. It's for real. It's not a play ceremony. And I've just begun to tell you about a few of the things. If we have time, I'd like to tell you about a few more things.
Okay, let me just... I'm sure we have plenty... Yeah, a few more minutes.
Let me say...
It's funny how when you're having such a good time, time just goes,
Our purpose is not to glorify war. I want to make this clear.
Well, naturally.
What we're wanting to do is preserve this era of aviation history. And so we are inaugurating the World War I Aviation Historical Hall of Fame. This will be a permanent thing. We will, in fact, build a building on the Guntersville Airport to house this. But this year, during Airdrome, we are inducting the first 16 people into this Historical Hall of Fame. We will have induction ceremonies on Saturday evening. Unfortunately, the public cannot come to this. We don't have space. But the press will be there to cover it for the people. And these people come from all over the world. Now, these are not World War I aviators. These are people of the present day who have been unusually active in preserving this era of aviation history.
Right, it's sort of like a hobby with them.
Right. Some are writers,
more.
Some are master builders, some are artists. We have coming Jim Dietz, who is the world's leading artist today in World War I aviation art. And he has done a lot of the original art in our museum. He will be with us for this occasion, and many others from all over the world.
Will people be able to get anything drawn by him there? Or
oh, yes, they will.
Okay.
And they will be able to see his original art throughout the museum. You would be surprised at the people who come to the museum who never even look at the airplanes. They get so enthralled. We have hundreds of pieces of art. Mr. Ryder has been collecting World War I aviation art for more than 30 years now. And he has this all over the walls down there. He has a lot of original pictures and things that were personally signed by leading aces of World War I aviation hanging on the walls.
Exciting.
And all over the place we have models of all of these aircraft. We have a model curator there at the museum, and he builds these beautiful models that
to scale, probably.
Absolute scale. Everything there, Deana, is done either full size or scale, and it is authentic in every detail. These aircraft that you see are just exactly like the ones that flew 75 years ago, except we have put more modern engines in them.
Right.
We now have radios in them, and a few things, even brakes on them, which they didn't have then.
I don't even want to ask how they begun to stop them.
To make them, we do these things to make them safe to fly.
Well, naturally.
Okay, one thing that's unique about our museum, there are some of these aircraft in the Smithsonian. There's some in other museums.
Right. I've been to the Smithsonian.
Okay,
and
you may have seen some of them.
Awesome.
But unlike other museums, our planes fly. We take them regularly out of the hangars and fly them. They're flying aircraft.
So they're not just propped up there.
No, we take them out and
work.
fly them. And people can come down there on weekends, and particularly the fourth Sunday in each month, usually Sunday afternoon, if the weather's pretty, we're flying those aircraft. But of course...
And people can just come and watch
Oh, just come watch, yeah. We love to have them.
Oh.
But for 3 days, we're just going to be flying them continuously. We're going to fill the air full of these aircraft, and they'll just be able just to drink it all in. And many people want to come for 3 days because, honestly, you can't see it all in one day.
Right.
You can stay from daylight to dark, and you won't see everything that's going on there. But by the same token, if people try to come, say, on Saturday, and they get tied up in traffic or whatever, come on back Sunday or Monday, because we're going to do the same thing all over again the other 2 days. We'll be doing the same thing each day. And we just want people to come. We know there will be some congestion. We're doing everything we can to make it convenient. They can come and spend the day on the airport. We're going to have plenty of restroom facilities, plenty of food for them to buy and eat. There will not be any bleachers or anything. They can just simply wander around and enjoy the scene and just have, we hope, a barrel of fun. That's what we intend to do with this, is just have a lot of fun.
I tell you what, it sure sounds like you have everything under control. I would have never even thought about the traffic, but y'all have really thought this out. Well, I guess if you took 3 years to plan it, it ought to be coming. It sounds amazing.
Yes,
I can't wait to come.
We didn't anticipate that part of the Gunnersville Bridge would be out when this happened, so that's causing some traffic problems too. But we're working around that. Right. And I want to tip my hat to the state troopers, to the police, to the sheriff departments, the rescue squads, the paramedics. We just have such wonderful cooperation from everybody. And believe me, we're calling on everybody, because this is truly a regional effort. The food booths will be, we're giving these to local area civic clubs in the Marshall County area. We're not getting anything out of that. We want them to raise some money there for their civic projects.
Right, that was sweet.
And so it is truly an effort to boost the area. And
this is such a good thing for Alabama, too.
Oh, yes.
So no matter what area of the state you're from, I would think that you would want to come and show support for Alabama, and since it is an international event.
Indeed. Well, and we think it's kind of neat, and the tourist officials are excited about this, that here in Huntsville we have the latest thing in space.
Well,
down the road 30 miles we have the oldest thing in space. And so
they complement each other, don't they?
Yes, they do. And we are developing a very fine relationship with NASA and with the U.S. Space and Rocket Center. We're working together to produce something here in North Alabama that will be good for all of Alabama, for our region, for the Southeast, and for the nation. And we hope that Airdrome 92 will be a good addition to this entertainment mix.
Oh, bless your heart. It sounds so exciting. I can't wait. I have a niece and nephew that I know are going to want to come. And will I see you there? Will you be
Yes.
there meeting or greeting people?
I will be all over the place down
Oh,
there.
I feel so important.
you-
I know, Mr.
You'll have a
Culp.
hard time not seeing me if you come to Airdrome, because I'll be all over the place. We will be doing everything we can to make people feel at home, and we hope that they will overlook some of the minor inconveniences that
I'm
might
sure
be
they
there
will.
with that kind of crowd. But we just want them to know that we're doing everything we can for their safety and comfort and enjoyment.
Right,
And
of course.
many people have said, well, gosh, Mr. Ryder's going to get rich off this. No, he's hoping to recoup part of his expenses for doing this. He's just doing it because he loves it. He said, hey, you guys do the work now. I'm going to get up there in the air. I'm going to be flying 5 hours a day. I'm going to enjoy this and have fun. And I
And
hope-
that's what he loves to do, isn't
Absolutely,
it?
yes.
Well, oh, this sounds so exciting, and I'm so glad to have met you. And I know that this is such a worthwhile and family event that each family in the Huntsville and surrounding areas can come to.
Yes,
and
indeed.
y'all, I want y'all to remember it's just down the road. Airdrome 92,
Right.
September 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Correct.
Hope to see y'all there. Once again, I'm Deana Liphart. This is Mr. Jesse Culp, and I'd like to thank all of y'all for watching Vision Plus, and see you next time.
His presence with thanksgiving in your heart and give him praise. Give him praise. Come into his presence with thanksgiving